So this was the walkway that led from the glass house to the orangery. This little opening here was the potting shed. So we are now in the potting shed. And it was quite a long potting shed. It came roughly right over to the end. And there was a little door that led out. So we're back out and around the site to this part. I believe under this section of large concrete is some actual steps that led down to the cellar. Now this is right up against what was, this section anyway, was Titus Junior's turning room and his workshop, which also had a little lavatory in the corner. Now you can quite clearly see the distinction between the two different rooms, because there's a whole lot of rubble in the centre which divided the rooms. This basically was his turning room and workshop. But if we jump over the heap, we are now in the billiard room, which basically was right next door to the orangery. The billiard room went all the way back. The wall is actually hidden underneath all that rubble that literally just slid down. The outer wall is buried under there. It's huge stone lintels. God knows where that ornate piece came from. Possibly a window lintel. I'm not sure what his fireplace was made out of. I presume marble, and that's not marble. So if we hop back over to the potting shed, whoop, I mean, you can still see the outline between the potting shed and the billiard room. So, back out of the potting shed, which incidentally had a metal doorway, and up the remains of the orangery, or orangery, more carved pieces of stone. I mean, literally everything just fell down in a heap, completely covering the bottom section of the orangery. And if we climb up parts that we've managed to do a little bit of digging, not a lot, but enough, you can see the doorway that led from the main house down to the orangery. I mean, you can see all this carved stone, and you can see how everything just collapsed into the doorway. I mean, there really is some serious voids under there, because we started doing some digging. We did actually pull out this massive piece of carved, it was clearly, I would say, part of this sort of archway that would have risen up and gone all the way over to the other side, seeing as it still has its original features. We even found pieces like this buried, its original colour, which match up perfectly with these sections. I mean, there is actually quite a lot of this house still standing. It's just buried in rubble and tree roots. Now moving up, we would be in the house now. You can quite clearly see the dividing wall. This would have been the hallway from the orangery to the main house. And this would have been